I'd like to, first of all, thank the convener of this beautiful program, Mrs. Olayinka. Can you please put your hands together for this amazing woman? Thank you for doing this. And thanks to all the organizers, to the protocol guys, to China P. What a beautiful name. I haven't heard that name before. That's a lovely, lovely name. You're tempting me to have a daughter, even though I've retired from active service. But that's a beautiful name. Thank you so much. All right, so interesting topic that I've been asked to share with you today, visibility in the workplace, okay? Why is this important? All right. So first of all, pardon me, I didn't come with any slides. I wanted to talk freely from my mind. Is that okay? Yes. Let's keep it. You've been writing notes anyway. So let's just have a conversation, all right? But I'll give you tips. So again, thanks to my co-presenters. When she told me I would speak first, I was negotiating. I don't want to speak first. Reason so that I can at least copy some notes from those that will come before me, you know. But anyway, I guess the advantage is I'll finish what I'm saying and go and sit down. All right, so visibility in the work, it is so important. I mean, I can't overemphasize this. Why is it important, though, to be visible at your place of work? It's very important. Your work is not enough. Okay? Your work is not enough. Why? Because the people who make decisions that pertain to your career are human beings. They are not machines. Okay? They are human beings, and there is a way human beings operate. All right? So it's not input output. Okay, I've fulfilled all my goals and objectives for this year, therefore, automatically I should get promoted. No, it doesn't work like that. In fact, many times, the decision on who to promote happens in a few minutes. Sometimes it's in the lobby that those things are discussed. So all that thing you're writing your appraisal, speaking all that grammar, you are just exercising your English knowledge. It doesn't influence anything. It does not. The decision has already been made. But you have to still do your appraisal, though, by the way, okay, to fulfill all righteousness. And I say, but that's not fair, that's not fair. It's not that. You just have to understand the game. And you play it right, okay? So it's important to be visible. Visible to who? To those who matter. There are stakeholders in every organization. And your first job in any organization is to identify who the stakeholders, who the critical decision makers are. And spend time being visible to them. If you spend all your time being visible to those who are not really decision makers, that's not really time wisely spent. Now, if you're in an organization, for example, question I want to ask you is, does the CEO of your organization, does he or she know you? If somebody mentions your name, can he at least even put a face to your name? I mean, we all work for different organizations, so maybe different sizes of organizations, so I can understand that. But it's important that the people who make decisions in your organization know you. Not third-hand information. Not what somebody has told them about you. But what is their first-hand experience of you? It will help them to make a quicker decision that will favor you. So it is not enough to say, I'm doing a good job and therefore I should just get promoted. No. No. What are you known for? And who knows you? Okay? So you cannot afford to be in the dark. All right? It is very important because sometimes when it comes to a decision to who do we promote, who do we move to the next level, you can understand that sometimes there's competition, right? But what can be the game changer for you sometimes is who knows you, who is speaking for you in the room when you're not there. You say, but before I continue, just for my information, so relax. I know this is a secular meeting, all right? But how many of us here are Christians? Just want to know. Okay. How many of us are non-Christians? And it's fine. Okay. All right. So we all believe in God at least, right? Is there anybody that doesn't believe in God here? That's also fine. Okay. So, but sometimes we are very religious in this country, right? And we can say stuff like, my God will fight for me. He will speak for me. God doesn't speak in boardrooms. Let me come so that you see me well. I believe in God. I'm a Christian. But you see, it's a human being that will speak for you. It's a human being like you that will make a case for you. Now, the problem is, if it's just one person that is speaking for you, it's not enough. If it's only your manager that knows your capabilities, that will not get you far. And God help you if your manager is not even a strong person. Because he can't stand the heat in that room. I mean, I've sat in many appraisal meetings where decisions are made. If that's your manager that you are holding in high esteem, he can be a CC in the room. And God help you, there's another big guy that you have upset who is in that room. Who says, no way, this guy is not going anywhere. That's the end, though. And then you come back and you blame village people who are innocent. But you failed to do what you were supposed to do. So what I'm going to do is I will give you practical tips, because then the question is, so how do I improve my visibility? How do I do this? I'll give you tips. So because I know you like 7 keys to success and those kinds of things, I came with 7 tips. I only had 4, but I stretched it to make it 7 so that you will like it and it will stick, okay? So the first one I have here is become an expert. That is the very first key. Become an expert in something. This is what stands you out. There's competition in the office. So what are you going to be known for? You have to be an expert in something. And listen, it doesn't matter what it is, and I know we are all in different stages of our careers, so maybe you don't have 15 years experience, but how can I be an expert? It's okay. But be very good at something, such that if they are looking for who knows how to do PowerPoint in the office, they can call you. I say, hey, go and call Kunle. Kunle is very good at that. That is how you start becoming visible. It could be Excel. Maybe the big guy is struggling with Excel. I mean, who can help me? Go and call Kehinde. Let her come and do this thing. And you're becoming visible. Let there be something that you are an expert in. That becomes a differentiator. Don't be lost in the crowd. Everybody's in the crowd. But the thing that will distinguish you is that when we call you, no, that guy is very good at this. He understands systems. Maybe that's your area. You're very good at systems. And make sure people know it. It's not just you enjoying your work, but make sure that people know that you can do this thing. Okay? So be an expert at something. Very, very important. That's how you can stand out from the crowd. The next thing I'll tell you is be innovative. Become innovative. What does this mean? It means you always bring up new ways of doing things. Many times, this is what many of us do in the office. We complain a lot about how things are not working. This process is too winded. Why do we do this? That is a nudge for you to pull out a solution. If you don't respond to it, you just lost an opportunity. Maybe you're coming from another company where you know there's a better way of doing this particular thing. That's an opportunity to introduce it into that company. So that when you're in that meeting, ideas are coming to you, speak up. Pull out those ideas. People will take notice of you. But you don't keep it. And then maybe you're in that meeting, somebody else now says, but that's what I wanted to. How do we know? That's what you wanted to say. We are not spirits to know what is inside you. Why didn't you say it? Now, if you're in an organization and all the time you bring up brilliant ideas of new ways we do things, your leaders will notice you. I can tell you for a fact. Because it shows that you have stepped above the problems and you're thinking as a leader. A leader is focused on solutions, not discussing problems. What is the solution? So you must be quick to think of, and if you do this exercise today, look at your organization. You will surely identify problems that have been in that place for some time. Can you come up with a solution and have a discussion with your manager? You'll be surprised how far that solution can go. It can get to the CEO. And then when they ask, who brought up this idea? It can be in even little things, but it counts. That's how people begin to rate your intelligence. We don't know that you're intelligent just because you're quiet. The person can be a quiet olodo. It's true. Just because you're quiet doesn't mean you're smart. If you like, wear bottle eyeglasses. It doesn't deceive anybody. It's when you speak that people can begin to assess. That's visibility. Because you're pulling out value. You're bringing out value. So be innovative. Don't just flow with the routine of work. That's all you do. That's what everybody else is doing. How are you going to get noticed? How are you going to get noticed? So become innovative. The third one I'll tell you is lead cross-functional projects. In your office, sometimes you could have, and when I say lead these things, it doesn't mean you're waiting for you to be called to come and do it. Volunteer to do it. These projects, these assignments, now, these things are going to look like additional work, extra work, which we run away from. My work is already a lot. I want to add this one now on top. But you say you want to be visible. Visible for what? Is it just so that we'll be seeing you're a fine man, you're a fine girl, and so what? Visibility is that you are showing us something. You're a product, you're a brand. So you're being visible. When Coca-Cola is advertising, they're putting it in your face. They spend millions and millions of dollars to advertise because they are showcasing their product. So it's not just, I want to be visible, I want to be visible. To what end? Okay? So volunteer to be part of cross-functional projects where you interact with people from other departments outside of yours. Because you want to establish yourself across board. This is so important. This is how people, because sometimes people ask, I'm in finance. How does somebody in sales know me? How do these people in real estate, how do they get to know me? There are some, and sometimes when I say projects, it may not necessarily be technical work projects. Okay? It could be basic things like maybe the office is organizing some outreach. Or you're organizing end-of-year party, like many offices are organizing now. You don't want to be part of it, please, 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 please. But in doing that, you might be working with a senior guy who will notice your organizational skills, your communication skills, your planning skills. He's taking notes. It's not finance you're doing, but those things you're doing is showcasing your leadership skills, and he's taking note. Tomorrow, he may have a big role, and he'll be interested in you already. You've created visibility. This is why sometimes people don't understand how some people move around in an organization quickly. And because you don't understand it, you conjure all sorts of reasons why it's happening. But you're wrong. That is arrogance, actually. Because humility is in bending down to ask, Rabbi, how are you doing these things? Let them show you the way. There is a way. But you don't want to ask. So you conjure all sorts of things. That's why if the person is a lady, for example, unfortunately, people start making up all sorts of nonsense stories. She's dating the CEO. That's why. That's why she's moving. Okay, if he's a man, uncle, they're from the same village, there must be something. But you're wrong. It's not any of those things. It's because you haven't asked the right questions on how these things happen. You've got to be smart and participate. So when those things come up, volunteer quickly to be a part of it, because that's how you showcase yourself. Now, the fourth one here is be mobile. Be mobile. Now, some of you work in multinationals where maybe you have offices in other countries. Be open to, or even in Nigeria, maybe you have offices outside of Lagos, for example. Be open to working in another location. I know you were born in Lagos, but must you remain here? Are you a fixed asset here? Must you be here? If you're talking about visibility, if you're going to be a regional leader like China Pife, for example, leading Africa, you have to be open to understanding how other countries work. How would you understand how Francophone countries work? If all you know is Kama, Nigeria, everything is Nigeria, we die here. Then you're not, because sometimes there may be limited opportunities in a particular location. So you necessarily have to move out. Now, some of these things I'm sharing with you, maybe when we get later, I can share some personal experiences with you. Because I used to be like that. I mean, I love this country. So I wasn't really open to moving, and it affected me a great deal. Because you shortchange yourself. Because what you're doing is, if you work in a multinational, then you don't have too many reference points of achievement. Your achievement become localized. And your skill set become limited. But when you spread yourself out and you are open to moving, anyway, I don't think I need to say too much about it. With the Japa movement that is happening, I don't think this one is a big problem. I think you are overmobile. Okay? All right, the fifth one is establish a relationship with your manager and his or her manager. You call maybe your 1-over-1 or your skip level. Establish a relationship. Now, you already have some kind of relationship with your manager, I understand that. But it helps when you are friendly with your manager. Your manager is a human being. He's a human being. She's a human being. Okay? And work is easier when there's some kind. I'm not saying they have to be your best friend. I'm not saying that. But there's a level of relationship that makes things easier at work. We're all human beings. We have titles, yes. But you can appeal to the human side of people. There's that human side of people. So if you're always official, how are you today? Fine. How was last week? Very fine. What are we doing? The weather, the temperature is 27 degrees. Relax. Relax. Ask about his family. Ask, be humane. Build relationships. And with his manager or her manager, you're 1-over-1. The person your manager reports to, do you have a direct relationship with that person? It's very important. Because I'm telling you, it's not second-hand information. Let that person also feel you. Have conversations with them. Initiate it. Don't wait till they set up meeting in your calendar. Initiate it. Take advantage of those opportunities. Sometimes, I used to tell some of my guys then, while I worked in GE, for example, you see, our chairman will come visit, chairman of GE, big man, So you'd find, and this is interesting, so you find the American guys, young chaps, 2 years, 3 years experience, they'll be chatting with the chairman freely. We are all like, chairman of G. Look at these boys are just chatting with the man. They're not afraid. They don't have respect. You see, our culture begins to affect us. But those guys are building a rapport with the man. Tomorrow, when he makes them regional CFO, you start, discrimination. But you refuse to do what you didn't ask the question. How are they doing this thing? So build a relationship with your manager and also with your manager's manager. Take time in their calendar to speak. The sixth one I'll say here is speak up in meetings. Speak up in meetings. Don't attend meetings as just an item on the agenda. That's an opportunity for you to present yourself. So if you're coming for any meeting at all, plan what you're going to say. You should also plan what you're going to say. So that and of course, what you're going to say has to make sense, right? Because it's probably better you didn't say anything than you now say something that is off. But plan what you're going to say. In those meetings, when these big guys come, like chairman and all of those things, we go and research for questions that we're going to ask him. It's work that we do. It's not as if we need the answer. Sometimes we know the answer already, but you have to ask intelligent questions. That's how the man notices you and know that you're thinking. And make contributions in meetings. Don't come for a meeting and you're so quiet. You have to say something, okay? And then the last point I'll leave you with before I run away from here is invest in networking. I know some of you may not like this one, but there's no other way. Invest in networking. You have to take out the time to network, to build relationships across. Sometimes you have team dinner, for example, in the office. Some of you run away, you hide. You don't want to go. I'm busy. You're shortchanging yourself. That was an opportunity for you to connect, to relate, but you run away. Take advantage of those opportunities. Plan how you're going to be networking. Plan the people you're going to meet in the office. Okay? Don't just sit at your desk from morning till evening. You don't move. You're not a fixed asset. Move. During your break time, move. Just go and say hello to people. I'm not saying that's what you do the whole day, because they might mark you that this one is like there's no work for him to do. And that can become another problem, okay? So, but it's just you going out and just connecting with people and saying reasonable things. That's how you're visible. But don't sit in a corner. Don't become obscure in an office and just hoping that someday, something will happen. No. You have to take active steps to create visibility for yourself by doing some of these things that I've shared with you. There are 7, right? That should be enough now, Abby. Do these ones first. You'll be more than visible. All right, so let me wrap up and list them again for you. So become an expert, number 1. Number 2 is what? Be innovative. Number 3, the cross-border projects. Number 4, be mobile. Number 5, okay. Number 6, and number 7, you guys can take notes. So. Well done. Thank you very much.